So, I want to talk about Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders had a wonderful first NFL game. Even though it was preseason, it was still an awesome performance, right? We all can agree to that. Coming into game one, he was ranked 4 in the depth chart, which is crazy. Behind Flacco, Pickens, Gabriel, and then Shador. Gabriel got injured, Pickens got injured, Flacco just too old. Flacco's too old to be playing preseason game. So Shador got the start. And against some of the first, against some of the starters for the Panthers, he did well. So, but word came out that after that great performance, Shedeur Sanders is still 4th on the depth chart. 4th on the depth chart. You know what, y'all? I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not one to cry this and cry that, racism, whatever. I'm not quick to do that. And I'm not even saying racism here. I'm saying that why is Shedeur Sanders still 4th on the depth chart? You mean to tell me that he didn't move up at all? Well, game 2 is, coming up. And I think Shador's going to play. And also I think Gabriel's going to play. I think. I got to double check. I know Gabriel was chosen before Shedeur Sanders, but do the Browns love Shedeur? I don't know anymore. Do the Browns love Shedeur Sanders? Are they going to fire him? Are they going to cut him? Did you know that Shedeur his jersey sold over $250 million worth? 1 second, y'all. Yes. Are the Browns going to fire Shedeur Sanders? Because he played well his first game. But for some reason, the coach, in my opinion, is still hating on him. Why is that? I mean, Shedeur Sanders played well. Are the Browns going to cut him? Because he's still 4th on the depth chart. This is ridiculous, y'all. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing? Please, y'all, smash that like button. Was that easy? Yeah, so Shedeur Sanders played well, but the Browns act like they don't want him. Why is Shedeur Sanders still 4th on the depth chart? Why didn't he move up? At this point, good to hear that, Easy. At this point, I don't know if the Cleveland Browns want him around. Hey, I'm a Dolphin fan. We'll take him. I mean, we have Tua, but we'll take Shador as the backup for sure. And again, it was just one game. I know that, but Shador played well in that one game. He played awesome. 2 touchdowns. I mean, those touchdowns are beautiful. That's why, hey, y'all, please, y'all, smash that like button. So, I'm upset, though. I'm upset because Shedeur Sanders played his heart out. Why are the Cleveland Browns treating him like shit? It's like, come on, man. Yes, he's a little arrogant. Not arrogant, but, confident. But, I mean, the guy can play. Last year, he led the nation in percentage. Yes, you're right, Easy. He did pay the Panthers, and I get it. The Panthers aren't some world beaters. I do know that, but they're still NFL players, And I think Shedeur Sanders played well. Now, next game is against Philly, right? Let's see how he does against Philadelphia. And I gotta check, but I think both Shador's gonna play and I think Gabriel's gonna play. So it should tell us, and let's see, Gabriel might play well also. I just don't know. But my question is, why is Shedeur Sanders still 4th on the depth chart? He should have moved up already. You know, Flacco is a veteran. Flacco's still good at that age. Flacco's gonna start. Have you seen the Browns' schedule? I'm gonna tell you the schedule right now, y'all. Hold up. Give me a second. I gotta tell you the schedule, because the schedule is brutal. The Browns' schedule is brutal, y'all. I'm gonna tell you the schedule right now. The Browns play, the first game of the season is, one second, y'all. One second. Alright, so the first game is, one second. Preseason. Okay, now, the Browns' first game is against the Bengals, y'all. The Browns' first game is against the Bengals. Then after that, it's against the Ravens, and the Packers, and the Lions, and the Vikings, and the Steelers, and the Dolphins. What a schedule! Do you think Shedeur Sanders, if he starts, do you think Shedeur Sanders can do well? I don't know if but my question is, I don't know if the Browns love Shedeur. I think they might cut him. Do you think Shedeur might get cut? Because to me, I think the Browns coaches don't want Shedeur there. The owner already said he didn't want to pick Shedeur. So I'm confused. I got eyeballs. The guy can play. And I'm upset. That's right, Bone. Whatever. That's right. I hope the Bengals, we're not gonna, that schedule is a wicked schedule. Look at the schedule again, y'all. Look at the schedule again. Look. The schedule this is a wicked schedule, boy. First game, the Bengals, then the Ravens, then the Packers, then the Lions, then the Vikings, and the Steelers, and the Dolphins, and the Patriots. And the Patriots might be decent. The Jets might be decent. And then the Ravens again, and the Raiders, and the 49ers, and the Titans, and and then the Bills, and the Steelers, the Bengals. That is by far the toughest schedule in the league, y'all. By far. That is the toughest schedule in the league. I don't know what wow. I know, right? Even if Patrick Mahomes was playing for the Browns, I don't know if the Browns will do well. That schedule is wicked. So somebody don't like the Browns. The NFL don't like the Browns, because that's just, So do you think Shador should play then? Do you think, because the schedule is so hard, do you think just throw him out there? And now imagine this, chat. Imagine this. Imagine if Shador actually plays well. Imagine if Shador starts and plays well against those teams. Man, can you imagine if he does that? And anything's possible, right? Anything is possible. But my question is, I don't know if the coach, Stefanski, I don't know if he wants Shador on the team. I don't think so. Hey, y'all, please, y'all, smash that like button. I don't think the coach wants Shador on the team. But the Browns, in my opinion, are not ran well. The Browns are not ran well by the owner or the organization, because they have 6 quarterbacks on the roster, y'all. They have 6 quarterbacks on the roster. Can you believe that? 6. Don't forget, Deshaun Watson is still on the contract for that ridiculous contract, And 6 contracts. Yeah, bro. She has the Yeah. For sure. I think Shedeur Sanders could do well in the NFL. I really think so. But my issue is, I don't think the Browns want him. After game one, the coach was doing the post-game talk about how great they played. He didn't mention Shedeur at all. He mentioned other guys. And I get it, Shador's a rookie, and I get it. You don't want the hype to be overhyped, but he's not hype at this point. The guy can play, you know? The guy can play. Also, have you seen his brother Shiloh Sanders balling at Tampa Bay? I mean, what it is that a lot of people don't like their father Dion. That's what it is. A lot of people don't like Dion. So because most people don't like Deion Sanders, they take it out on their son, on his sons, which is not cool. Which is not cool. Every player should be judged individually, not by their father. I'm 51 years old, so I was around when Deion Sanders was balling. Let me tell you, Deion Sanders was cocky, but he was definitely one of the best athletes I've ever seen. All right? And I think Shedeur Sanders, because Deion Sanders is his father, I think he's getting a bad rap. I think he's getting picked on. I really think so. How else can you explain the hate he's getting? And let me tell you, Shedeur Sanders has a fan base, y'all. He has a fan base. And I heard today, I don't know if it's true, but I heard that some Brown fans already want the coach fired. Now, I don't want the coach fired now. I'm not saying I don't want the coach fired. I just want the coach to just show a little bit more respect to Shador. Because Shedeur Sanders might get cut. I don't know at this point. The coach's staff and the coach act like they don't want Shador. Hey y'all, smash that like button for me. Yeah, the coach and the coaching staff act like they don't want Shador there. My goodness. Me too, bro. It's a kind of, good coach. Yeah. Don't fire the coach now. Don't fire the coach. I'm not a big fan of firing coaches left and right. I'm not a big fan of that, I just think the coach should just acknowledge what he has. And look, I'm not saying Shedeur Sanders is the next Tom Brady. I'm not saying that. I don't know. It's only one game, and I get that. It's only one game. It was preseason. I get it, all that. But I did watch him in college. I watched him in Colorado. He was pretty damn good in Colorado. I'm sorry. He's very accurate. Very accurate. And he's cool, calm, and collective. One thing I like about Shedeur Sanders, he's always calm and cool and collective. Similar to how Brady was. Tom Brady was always cool, calm, and collective. That's why I think Shedeur Sanders is going to do well. In Colorado, he didn't have any linemen blocking him. I mean, he had linemen, but, the one that good for the most part. In Colorado, Shedeur Sanders was running for his life. The Browns have a good line, O-line. So Shedeur is going to have time to throw. We want Shedeur. But the first game is against the Bengals. And by far, the Cleveland Browns have the toughest division, are in the toughest division, all right? I don't think the coaching staff likes Shedeur Sanders. I think they want to fire him. I think they want to cut him. But they know they can't because number one, he's good. Number two, he brings eyeballs. And trust me, the Browns are not going to cut him, y'all. Why is that? Because another team is going to get him quickly. Come on now. Even though every team passed on him twice or three times, if the Browns cut him, Shedeur Sanders is gonna get picked up like that. You know that, I know that, he knows that. The Browns know that. So that's why I think it's gonna be very interesting. Right? Game 2 preseason is against the Philadelphia Eagles. That's gonna be a good game. 1 second, y'all. We get 4 whole wings. Yes, sure, yep. Small lemonade, no ice. That's it. Yeah, y'all. So the first game is against the Bengals. Flacco's gonna start. You know that Flacco's gonna start, all right? But you know Flacco's old, and of course I'm not wishing any injury on nobody. Of course not. But there's a high chance Flacco might get injured. There's a high chance. And if he does, which I don't hope he does, but if he does, all right, who's gonna be in second place? Who's the second quarterback? You know, who's the second quarterback on the roster? Right now it's Pickens, and then right now it's Gabriel is third, which is just crazy. You know, he's about to retire. Yeah. Flacco, man. Flacco, for being 40 years old, whatever, he can still ball, but I just think it's time for the young guys, man. It's time for the young guys. You know? But Shedeur Sanders needs to get more respect from the coaching staff. Shedeur Sanders, in my opinion, is not getting the respect that he deserves. All right? And at this point, remember, Shedeur Sanders was supposed to be a first-round pick. He dropped to the 5th round. We all know why. Because I think the NFL wanted to teach him a lesson. Whatever that means, right? Okay, he dropped to the 5th round. It is what it is. But Shedeur Sanders is playing his ass off in practice. I heard that he's out playing Gabriel, Pickens, and Flacco. What's up, brother, man? You know? It is so frustrating. The guy's doing everything in his power. Yes, Shedeur Sanders is, yes, he can come off a little cocky. Not cocky. No. I take that back. Shedeur Sanders is not cocky. He's just confident. All right? He's just confident. All right? You may call it cocky. You may call it, he ain't doing anything yet. But, at the end of the day, I think he's better than Gabriel. I think he's better than Pickens. I mean, Pickens, we saw Pickens in Pittsburgh for about 2 years. Pickens wasn't that good. Flacco's good for his age. Flacco's good. So, yeah, Flacco should start. I get it. Flacco should start. He's a veteran. He knows the game. He should start. Yes. But I'm not wishing anything. I'm not wishing Flacco get hurt. But hopefully Flacco doesn't get hurt. But if he does get hurt, I think Shedeur Sanders should be QB2. I really think so. Because, okay, you know what? Let's do this. The preseason game, I'm gonna try to go live during the game, y'all. So please join me. All right? He is too confident of his skill. He's good, but again, he's not like elite. Shador's not some elite player. You're right about that. I think he's good. He's a rookie. I think he's gonna get better. He's tough. He's accurate. And he's definitely confident. Not cocky. He's confident. Shador is confident, not cocky. But, at the end of the day, he needs his chance. Whenever he gets a chance to go shine on the field, he should just ball out, man. Shedeur Sanders, just ball out, man. Ball out. Because if you ball out, they can't deny you anymore. People don't like his father, Dion. People don't like his father, Dion, because Dion is definitely cocky. Deion Sanders is cocky, but back in his heyday, Deion Sanders can ball, right? Shedeur Sanders isn't as good as Deion or athletic or talented as his father, but darn it, he can ball. He can ball. So my question is, what happens if on Saturday Shador balls out? Thanks for the sub, man. Appreciate you. You're like, I look like who? So people say that I look like a lot of people. That's funny. Yeah, hey y'all, smash that like button and subscribe, man. Subscribe to the fastest sports channel on YouTube. Fastest growing channel on YouTube, sports channel. Yeah, but next preseason game is against the Philadelphia Eagles. How is he gonna do against the Eagles? Because the Eagles are the champs. I know it's preseason, but still, if Shedeur Sanders plays well against the Eagles, oh boy. For Stray Kids, I'm gonna look it up. Well, if Shedeur Sanders plays well on Saturday against Philadelphia Eagles, woo-wee, can you imagine how much clout he's gonna get, how much more popular he's gonna get? Now, some people compare Shedeur Sanders to Tim Tebow as far as the hype. I disagree with that, because Shedeur Sanders can actually play. Tim Tebow wasn't that good, in my opinion. You know, Shedeur Sanders can actually play, y'all, and he's gonna become a starter and be pretty good against the Eagles. Yes, I hope so. You know, now, have y'all seen the Browns' schedule though? I'm gonna tell you the schedule again. The schedule is wicked, y'all. Look how difficult the Browns' schedules is. The first game is against the Bengals, and then the Ravens, and the Packers, and the Lions, and the Vikings, and the Steelers, and the Dolphins, my Dolphins, and the Patriots. Patriots might be good. The Jets might be decent, and then have the Ravens again, and the Raiders. Raiders might be good, and they have the 49ers, and the Titans might be, a challenge, and they have the Bears, and the Bills, and the Steelers, and the Bengals at the last game. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm 51 years old. I've been watching football forever. I think that's the toughest schedule I've ever seen any team have. Even if they had Patrick Mahomes as a quarterback, I don't think Patrick Mahomes would do well against that schedule. I mean, do you think the Browns are being punished by the league? Because what they're doing to them, it is unheard of. That's about, think about the Bengals. They have T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow. Oh, yeah. I love the Bengals too. And the thing about the Bengals is that the Bengals always have a slow start. Every year they have a slow start. If the Bengals start off winning at the beginning of the season, this season, there could be a problem. You know what? The other day I gave my Super Bowl prediction. The other day I said Baltimore might win the Super Bowl, and I believe that. I think Baltimore is going to win the Super Bowl, y'all. Yeah, I said it. I think Baltimore is going to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, I think it's time. I think Lamar Jackson is going to get better, even better. I think Lamar Jackson is going to get even better. I think that I think the Chiefs, I don't know if the Chiefs going to go to this year again. You know? But man, me see what else. What you said now? Last year. Hold up. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Yeah. Yeah, so he said last year, if they were against. Yes. Last year, the Bengals lost to the Patriots. The Patriots, the first game. Talk about a bad start to the season. You know? Talk about a bad start to the season. Man. But you know what? I can't wait for the NFL season to start. I ain't gonna lie. I cannot wait, chat. I can't wait. I think it's gonna be a crazy season, like a soap opera. Even, I think it's gonna be a very competitive season. I don't see one team running away from. I don't see a single team running away with this, a division. I think the Baltimore, the Bengals, the Browns, the Steelers. That division is crazy. Crazy division. But, at the end of the day, who do y'all think is gonna win? Who do y'all think is gonna win the Super Bowl this year? I think it's gonna be Baltimore. I think Baltimore is gonna win the Super Bowl this year. I don't know why, I just feel it. Of course, I could be dead wrong, right? Because we all know every year Baltimore does well in the regular season, but then come playoff time, they fold. Well, not fold, but they don't play as well as they did during the regular season. That just, to me, that's mind-boggling to me. I don't know if it's a mental thing at this point. I don't know if the Browns, I don't know if the Ravens cannot beat the Chiefs in the playoffs for some reason. The Ravens can't beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. But I think this year is this year. I think that this season is this year. I think Baltimore is going to come out blazing. Guns are blazing. Come out, have a wonderful regular season. And I think they're going to be very competitive against the Chiefs. And I think there's a good chance that the Ravens might beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. But guess what, though? The Bengals, I think, will be a problem also. The Bengals are going to be a problem. You got Joe Burrows, Higgins, Chase. Now, wait, the defense, though. The defense. That's the thing. Patrick Mahomes is on a downfall. You know what? It's funny you say that because if we're honest with ourselves, Patrick Mahomes has been playing kind of bad the past few years. If we're honest with ourselves, Patrick Mahomes has been playing bad the past few years, y'all. And it looks like he's on a downfall. He's still great, I get it. But last year they went like 15-2 or something like that. But mostly all the games were like super close. So that's what I'm thinking. I think it's gonna be. I really think it's gonna be something like. I don't think it's gonna be as smooth for the Chiefs as it was last year. The Chiefs aren't going 15-2. No. Right? Really just not. Hey y'all, please y'all smash that like button and subscribe, y'all. Show some love. But yeah, the Chiefs. I don't know if the Chiefs are gonna do well this year. No, excuse me. No, the Chiefs are gonna do well, but I don't know if the Chiefs are going. I don't know if the Chiefs are gonna go to the Super Bowl this year. The AFC is very competitive. Most of the good quarterbacks are in the AFC. Think about it: Patrick, Lamar, Burrows, even Denver quarterback, Last year for a rookie, did well. Tua, I think, is a good quarterback, y'all. I live in Miami. I'm a Miami Dolphin fan. And yes, I love my Dolphins, all right? Do I think my Dolphins can go far this year? Yes. If Tua stays healthy, my Dolphins can go to the playoffs and probably win a playoff game. But the thing is, Tua has to stay healthy. Tua Tagovailoa has to stay healthy, all right? Sometimes he tries to do too much. I don't want to be mean, but Tua cannot take a hit. Tua cannot take a hit. He just can't. Sorry to be mean, sorry to say it like that, but you have to realize that. So if Tua is going to run, he needs to slide quickly. He cannot take a hit because it seems like every time he gets hit, he gets a concussion. You know? Tua is a high risk of getting CTE. Chronic traumatic encephalopathy. He's at high risk of that. Alright? But anyway, back to Shador Sanders, y'all. I get carried away sometimes. I get off track. Shedeur Sanders needs to start. Alright, no, sorry. Shedeur Sanders needs to be at least second on the quarterback depth chart. Shedeur Sanders needs to get more respect from his coaches. The fans love him. I don't think the NFL loves him. I don't think his coaches love him. Shedeur Sanders can ball. But for some reason, it looks like his coach don't want him on the team. Why does the head coach want him on the team? I hear people saying that I heard some fans want the coach fired for the Browns. No, don't fire the coach, y'all. Don't do that to the coach, okay? Don't do that, all right? The coach should not be fired. Come on. I'm not a big fan of coaches getting fired for stupid reasons, all right? I think he's a decent coach. Give him a chance to coach, all right? I just want him to be more. I just want the coach to, you know. I would like the coach to show Shedeur Sanders more respect. You know, that's what I want him to do. Because I just don't think he's getting the respect that he deserves. Right? Right? I mean, I don't know, man. What do y'all think? Do you think Shedeur Sanders one day can be a starter in the NFL? Can Shedeur Sanders be a starter in the NFL? I think so. You know, I think so. I think Shedeur Sanders can start. I think he could do well in the NFL. I think he's gonna surprise a lot of people. He's cool, he's calm and collected. He doesn't get rattled. Shedeur Sanders does not have happy feet. We all know what happy feet is. You know? I think he's focused, and I think he can definitely come out of this thing great. Now, Gabriel is in front of him in the quarterback depth chart. Apparently, Gabriel has been struggling during practice. Apparently, Gabriel has been not doing that well during practice. Apparently, Shedeur Sanders has been doing very well in practice. Shedeur Sanders now, again, I'm not saying Shedeur is going to be some Hall of Famer. I don't know. But I think he's going to be good. I think he can win some teams games. You know? I know Shedeur Sanders isn't the biggest guy. I get it. But at the same time, he's not that small. I think he's what? How tall is Shador Sanders? Let me see. Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders is 6'2", 215. Shedeur Sanders is 6'2", 215. That's a heavyweight. Shedeur Sanders is a heavyweight, meaning that he's not that small. 6'2" is a decent size. 215 is kind of solid, right? He probably should gain more muscle, if you ask me, but in my opinion. You know? But man, I really think that Philadelphia, the Browns' second game is against Philadelphia this Saturday. Second preseason game. I know it's a preseason game, and I know it's going to be some of the backups playing most of the game. But if Shador Sanders does well against Philadelphia, I mean, at this point, what can they say, right? Shador Sanders needs to get his time to shine. He fell into the 5th round because I think the NFL wanted to punish him. Yeah, I said it. I think the NFL wanted to punish Shador Sanders. That's why they made him drop to the 5th round. That's my opinion. All right. The Browns got him in the 5th round. Okay. He's been quiet. Shador Sanders has been saying all of the right things. Shador Sanders had a lot of pressure in game 1, and he delivered. But they still wanna, the team still wanna disrespect him. I think Shador Sanders is being disrespected. I think the coach don't want him there. You know, I think the coach don't want Shador Sanders there. But if I was Shador Sanders, right, what I would do is this. I would ball out, hopefully do well, play out your contract, ball out. And if you get to a point where multiple teams are going to want you, get all the money you can, buddy. All right? Even right now, get all the money you can. Use your likeness to get all the sponsors you want. Jersey sales, whatever. Get all the money you want. You can, but because we don't know how long it's gonna last. It's a professional league, you know. But at the end of the day, bro, at the end of the day, you can do it. I believe in you, Shador Sanders. All right. So y'all check me out next time, okay? Thanks for joining.